Okay, before you get there, what happened? Lo enjoying
Yes.
kerjaan lo, kemudian lo enjoying getting married, itu
Yes.
priority, terus tiba-tiba stop.
Yes.
Sabbatical, you know, like what happened to
Yes.
your life?
Ada lo momen pagi gue duduk aja di sofa di kantor terus nangis kayak I'm so tired.
Oh,
I don't know what to do, right?
yeah.
One of those moments. But we all have those moments. You know what? This is not healthy. Something needs to change, right? Jadi first thinking was resigning karena kayak maybe I should just resign, right? Just like, you know, like yep, pull the band-aid. I don't know. Karena tanggung jawabnya di Gojek kan juga nggak kecil. And I don't think it's fair, right, to not be able to do that at the same time. Well, I started having conversation with, you know, my boss and other people in Gojek, you know, what's the best thing to do in the situation, yada, yada, yada. Terus mereka bilang, you know what, just take a sabbatical, you know, just like go, take your time, take the need, whatever you need to do. And then, you know, when you come back, we'll make sure that we still have a place for you. Which is
Berapa
very
bulan?
generous. 6 bulan.
6 bulan sejak awal tahun ya, Beb?
Sejak Maret tuh bulan pertama gue. Pas COVID.
It's a blessing. Why? Why?
It's a blessing because dan nggak FOMO.
How? Aristi Widya Bramantika yang dari dulu kayak kutu loncat, kerja, super ceria, selalu ada di mana-mana, terus tiba-tiba sabbatical. Terus lu nggak FOMO? Explain to me.
I think ada beberapa hal ya. I came into a sabbatical with a very strong intention. So I'm one of the things that I always do. I like to do things very intentionally, right? So if I do take a sabbatical, every time I do anything, I always ask, what is my intention in this, right? So I want to go into it a very, very clear and very strong intention. My intention was to reground, to recenter myself, and ask this question: is what is the most authentic person of myself? Like, what is this version, the most authentic version of myself? And what is that path look like? 2 minggu pertama, vacation. Artinya apa, gue leyeh-leyeh, Netflix and chill, tidur 14 jam, janjian makan siang sama temen, ya kan? Belum ditutup soalnya, belum ada PSBB. Jadi masih happy, nggak mau melakukan apa, nggak ada tanggung jawab, right? And then setelah 2 minggu mulai, okay, time to work on this. I did all the exercises that I did in the past. Jadi there's this one exercise that I usually do every 6 months or every year. It's the life wheel exercise. And you map out your life. Jadi you map out your life into like 8 areas dari misalnya family, love relationship, friends, career, finances, personal growth, health, satu lagi apa ya? Kayaknya I forgot, spirituality. Okay. And each of the area I ask Ika saat ini, lo dari 1 sampai 10 ada di mana? Where are you in this? And I realized when I did this in December or January, terus I did it every month, yang bikin gue galau banget karena angkanya nggak berubah. Jadi misalnya health was 5, and then for 6 months in a row, it's still 5. Jadi kayak angkanya nggak ada yang naik as much as I tried. Gue bilang, ini nggak bener nih, hidup tuh nggak bisa kayak gini. Kayak, this is not right?
What were you like before? When you didn't like what you...
Kayak gampang ke-trigger. Right?
Ke-trigger like, dalam arti apa, Kak?
Ke-trigger dalam arti I feel like I'm becoming toxic. Toxic kayak mulai punya banyak negative thinking about people, becoming more and more judgmental, gitu. Kalau orang minta apa ke gue mulai I don't want to say langsung marah ya, tapi have that negative thinking and negative energy. Terus gue gini, this is not me. Kayak, yes, mungkin kayak 10%, 20%, it's part of my life. Tapi if it's like 80% of who I am, this is not right. Now I have to set a new path. Tapi memang kayaknya di hidup gue tiap berapa tahun, 4 tahun, 5 tahun gitu, gue I like to do this exercise and reinvent myself, right?
Reinvent? Does that mean reinvent? Itu pilihan kata yang menarik. Ketika reinvent, apakah berarti setiap cycle itu lu berubah? Atau it's just, give me the description.
Yeah, so I'd like to think of it from how many of my limiting beliefs that I have conquered.
Like what?
Jadi, so So one of the things that I discover in the sabbatical from looking within adalah gue bukan orang yang berani to dream really big. Gitu. Kayak, God, what is like your big, hairy, audacious goal? Gue bilang, I don't have any. Right? Like, why don't you have any? Like, I don't need a big, hairy, audacious goal. Like, my life has been very fulfilling. I live a very good life. It's an enough life. Gitu.
Yeah.
Kan? Kalau orang kan punya goal yang wah pengen punya perusahaan yang gini, inspire millions. Gue yang I don't need to inspire millions. Like if I can just inspire one person, that's enough. Gitu kan? So that has been who I am, and I'm happy with that version, right? But then in reinventing and upgrading gini, okay, tapi kan ini segini. What's another version of Ika? Like what is it? Like what is another version of Ika yang lo belum bisa ngelihat? Jadi the way to do that is untuk ngelihat, okay, what if allow yourself to dream big. Lo nggak butuh, you don't need to want it, you don't need to need it. Bermain aja Kak, kayak okay, let's play with this. Gitu.
Berarti
kayak,
mimpi gedenya sekarang apa untuk Ika yang baru?
Oh my God.
Okay.
So my current vision and dream is helping Indonesians, orang Indonesia, to overcome our own limiting beliefs. Gitu. Karena gue ngerasa orang Indonesia itu potensinya sebenarnya gede banget. Tapi kita nggak sadar bahwa our past conditioning and our own thinking and our own beliefs yang sebenarnya menghambat diri kita sendiri. Satu yang paling mengena, culture nggak enakan. Kayak misalnya boundaries, right? Oh ya, atasan gue suka call gue di atas jam kerja atau pas weekend. Gimana caranya ya cara ngomong ke mereka gini? You know how to speak to them. Your problem is not apa yang lo mesti lakukan. Pertanyaannya adalah, why don't you tell them? Ya tapi kan nggak enak Kak, soalnya gini-gini, right? Jadi jawabannya selalu nggak enak gitu. So we have this fear of being assertive.
I see.
Satu, dan kita terjebak di nice, bukan di kind. Jadi kita tuh pengen jadi orang-orang yang baik, yang disukai, sangat ingin disukai.
Apa bedanya nice dan kind, Eka?
Nice itu intentionnya untuk disukai. Right? Kalau kind, intentionnya is to do the right thing. Jadi kalau misalnya you did something wrong atau you did something yang menurut gue menyakiti orang lain, being nice, gue akan bilang, oh nggak apa-apa kok Marisa, it's okay. Semua orang punya melakukan kesalahan. That's being nice. Nothing wrong with that. But being kind is being able to tell you bahwa, you know, I understand kalau lo melakukan itu secara tidak sengaja. But I hope you understand dampaknya itu seperti apa.
By the way, so what is a sabbatical for you then? Kalau lu bisa mendefinisikan, a sabbatical for Ika is boom.
To discover my depth of being.
Wow, elaborasi please.
So I like this framework of having the balance between doing and being, right? I love that framework about life. Bahwa dalam kesehariannya kerjaan apapun, we focus on doing. And life becomes a series of achievements or progress or whatnot. Gitu. But I've since I don't know how long have I been trying to really practice this, right? I don't know, 15 years. To balance the doing with the being gitu. Tapi yang gue rasa the pre-sabbatical, I think I was stuck in the doing and not working enough on the being gitu. So the biggest intention for me, the feeling is a combination of joy, of awe, and peace at the same time, but heightened di titik dimana kalau lo berdoa syukurnya tuh kencang banget, like extreme connection, right? Like, and you don't know what this connection to. You can say God, you can say universe, or what it is, or to everything that is. That feeling of complete centeredness, right? Like I like honoring the soul, a moment where I forget I have a body, and I remember I'm a soul. I love that moment. Right? For me, that's being.
Yeah. Do you meditate or no? What sort of?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Okay. Yes, it's one of my favorite habits to do. Even the way I meditate probably has changed
How?
throughout the years. Jadi awal-awal gue nggak ngerti apa itu meditasi. Terus gue mencoba belajar paham apa itu meditasi. Jadi kalau meditasi itu kan ada yang kayak mindfulness meditation, right? You just like kind of sit there and breathe and be aware of your breath. But there's also the kind of meditation that primes you. Jadi priming and through visualization and rasa. Gitu. Semakin kesini, I like to practice both. Karena for me to be able to rewire myself, rewire my brain, and rewire my conditioning to be a different person. That's why it's reinvention, right? Kayak to be a different person, like a snake. You want to let go of your old skin and become this new version. Then meditation helps me do that. It primes me to be the kind of person that I want to be. It reminds me the kind of person that I want to be. Tapi when I say the person that I want to be, sebenarnya it's the version that is closer and closer and closer to who I really am when I'm at most authentic. And then kata-kata, possibilities, limitless, itu sangat resonate to my true self. Sekarang gue tinggal bertanya, how do I practice being limitless every day? How do I practice possibilities, staying true to possibilities every single day? So that's my practice.
How do you do?
Banyak.
Every day.
So I ask myself, right, you have to be able to define from values to behavior. Anak culture. Jadi if the value is limitless, right, what is the behavior? So one of the behavior is satu, do things that I don't know before. Kedua, setiap kali gue di situasi yang gue nggak tahu mesti ngapain, I know I will figure things out. Jadi in my daily journal, kan biasanya kita punya daily gratitude, right? I write down things like, what are things that I figured out today that I didn't know before, but I figured out.
Bentar. Lu sabbatical tapi lu masih kerja. Gimana sih, Kak?
Terus gue udah punya clear decision making framework, right?
Yeah.
I will only say yes to things yang mendekatkan gue ke my vision and my dream. Kalau tuh nggak mendekatkan ke sana, I don't want to do it.
Nggak mau melakukan itu di sabbatical. Di sabbatical oke lah.
Yes, no. Sabbatical is my me time. I will only do things that would elevate my most authentic self.
Jadi sabbatical lu pun juga masih produktif lah ya, Kak?
Sangat produktif. And I think I am more productive than I'll send it in chat so you can see it.
Yeah, thanks, baby.
I think I am at the most productive that I've ever been karena beberapa hal. Satu, I am able to redefine what productivity means for me. Dan kedua, the way I define productivity is doing what matters most for me. Right? And everything that I do during the sabbatical is just 100% things that is so important to me. Karena yang lain gak penting, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care about that, right? I just don't do it, and it's so good. That's why I feel so productive, because first time in my life, I just do things that matters most to me, and that's it.
Which is what?
One, working on myself, right?
Okay.
Two, family. So one, working on myself. Two, family. I would drop everything in a heartbeat for family. And three, working on this vision of mine. That's it.
So, kalau gitu, what is the difference then?
Yes, I can tell you the difference. The difference is, I never had a vision or a mission as big as I do now. So I'm always working on someone else's vision and dreams instead of mine. Nggak salah, right? But it's not 100% that is true. Right? Not 100% true for me. So that's my first realization. Kedua, when I work with other people, I have to compromise a lot. Dalam arti, especially in an organization that is bigger, atau lo punya klien atau punya vendor, right? Yeah. Tapi kayak misalnya in an organization, there are decisions that you may disagree, but you have to commit. Okay? Yes. Which beberapa decisions nggak apa-apa, tapi kalau decisionsnya udah hal yang secara prinsip gue nggak setuju, itu berat. Dan itu mulai ngikis. Makanya I'm becoming karena then I have to do something, execute something that I don't believe in.
When you decided, I know that you said that when I decided to go into sabbatical, it was with full intention. Tapi apakah pada saat itu lu ngerasain ada worry atau rasa khawatir atau fear sebelum lu akhirnya memutuskan untuk sabbatical? Maksudnya, duh nanti kalau misalnya gue sabbatical gini nggak ya? Gini nggak ya? Gitu. So what went through your mind sebelum lo decide intentionally?
So I always like to prepare for worst case scenario. So fear-nya pasti ada, tapi then okay, what's the worst thing that can happen in the sabbatical? Worst thing that can happen adalah gue nggak menemukan apa yang gue cari. I become more anxious, and then tabungan gue semakin menipis. Terus di akhir sabbatical gue nggak punya kerjaan, right? Like worst case scenario. And then I ask, would you be okay with that state? Like yeah. Karena aku mikirnya gini, kalau gue gak punya kerjaan, ya ampun gue bisa kayak jualan tempe goreng kayak gitu, walaupun kayak cuman pendapatannya berapa, but I can survive, gitu kan. Tabungan gue masih bisa lah sampai berapa lama, but I trust in my ability to be resourceful enough to make some kind of an income, mungkin kayak gak sebanyak kalau misalnya gue kerja di sini, tapi I'll get by, like I trust in my ability to that. Asking the fear selalu ada. Selalu ada, tapi mungkin karena gue paham what fear is, fear itu bukan hal yang akhirnya menghalangi gue, tapi malah memotivasi gue. Jadi salah satu prinsip hidup gue adalah go into the direction of fear.
Sebagai manusia itu, kita kan punya fight or flight mode itu kan. Reaksi pertama pasti akan lari. Pasti akan lari. So, step-stepnya kira-kira kayak gimana ya, Kak ya?
Courage is a muscle. So if we never use it, we'll never have it. So
makanya gimana?
Dari yang kecil-kecil aja. Kecil-kecil, lo takut kayak misalnya kalau ditanya setiap kali gue harus ngasih webinar gitu kan. I'm always nervous. Like it's not that I don't have fear, that I'm nervous, but tapi gue tahu gue selalu bisa melewatinya. Itu aja sih. Gue dulu pernah bikin challenge di diri gue sendiri mencatat 1,000 failures. Lo catat apa, lo maju yang mana, mau yang besar atau kecil. Dan kadang kayak hal kecil, kayak nolak temen, right? Kayak misalnya, Kak, besok ikutan makan malam yuk. Misalnya gitu kan. Gampang banget untuk gue membuat alasan. Aku ada acara keluarga. Right? Kayak gampang banget bikin alasan. Terus gini, dude, that's bullshit, right? Even kayak gue bilang, enggak, aku lagi males.
Yeah.
Nggak pakai maaf lagi, nggak, aku lagi males. Like I don't even say sorry because I'm not sorry about it, right? Like nggak, lagi males lain kali ya, gitu. Like that's a practice of courage, right? Itu kan hal kecil banget.
Iya.
Jadi bagi gue melatih courage untuk hal-hal yang kecil ini setiap hari, tiap ada momen lo kayak pengen bohong tapi you tell the truth, that's really a very courageous moment.
Lo nggak ngerasa FOMO ya, Beb? Nggak ada rasa FOMO sama sekali.
Karena mungkin gue berhenti membandingkan diri gue ke orang lain a long time ago, right? What is FOMO coming from, right? Fear of missing out, and you're missing out karena apa? Kayak lo ngelihat orang lain hidupnya seperti apa, and you feel their sense of lack, right? And one thing that I learned about fulfillment is that sense of enoughness. Itu yang gue kumpulin. I am enough. What I do is enough. What I have is enough. When I operate on my daily days actions based on that principle, I nggak FOMO.
Tadi kan lo ngomong tentang bahwa lo udah ngerasa cukup. So
itu
kombinasinya gitu antara loh, tapi sekarang lo juga masih tetap, the fact that you're not FOMO is because you feel confident with being happy, with enough, with sufficiency. Tapi di saat yang sama ada this Ika yang maksudnya bentar dulu. Ini ada this potential, limitless and all that. This is enough Ika. This is limitless Ika.
Basically that balance between the being and the doing, right? It doesn't mean that when I am enough, it doesn't mean that I should not strive for the biggest goal there is. Gitu. But the intention is not for fulfillment, right? This is the intention. I'm already full. That's why I want to achieve this. Instead of, I want to achieve this so that I can feel full. Ini juga gue konflik, karena kan kalau di Buddhism yang banyak ngajarin hal-hal kayak gini kan bilangnya, you know, happiness comes from a place with zero desire. Right? Terus gini. Terus, dan I think for the longest time I was there. Karena kalau ditanya, what do you desire? Like, I got everything I need. I don't really need any desire, right? So, and then I realized, tunggu dulu. Tapi desire can be a good thing if it is, apa ya, mungkin bilangnya kalau di agama tuh kayak the purpose from God, right? It's not an ego-based desire, but a soul-based desire. And di sini kayak gue ngerasa, oh, gue sekarang berani bermimpi. Gue nggak peduli lagi kalau itu berhasil apa enggak. Gue nggak peduli, kayak kalau itu berhasil ya puji Tuhan, alhamdulillah. Kalau tidak berhasil, I know I will enjoy the journey so much to discover that. Like, I think I'm more looking forward to the journey than to the result.
What do you think we need to think about? Apa sih yang harus kita pikirin benar-benar sebelum memutuskan untuk sabbatical?
So I guess let's not focus on the sabbatical as form, but as a function, right? Jadi formnya itu kan sabbatical, but functionnya sebenarnya apa? What do I want to achieve out of the sabbatical? And the function is how can I reground, recenter myself supaya aku bisa lebih jejak. Kalau tiap 4 tahun gue ngambil sabbatical juga kayaknya nggak sustainable. Malah mungkin kedepannya akan jauh lebih sustainable if setiap 3 bulan, right, I took like a week, like those 3 days, and do the same exercise, right? Just go into somewhere, menghilang, and go deep and go within and realign. Itu satu. Atau kedua, how do I do this in a daily practice instead of nunggu kayak 4 tahun and then do a sabbatical? Jadi sabbatical for me as a form, it's great for me to build new strong habits.
Berarti nggak ada kerugian sama sekali ya dengan take sabbatical ya, Kak?
Ini, gue privileged. I can say privilege apa? Mungkin nggak semua orang take a sabbatical. Belum tentu. Maksudnya gini, kalau lo tulang punggung keluarga, lo sendirian, lo punya anak 4, gaji lo pas-pasan, can you really take a sabbatical? Like, I know I'm very privileged. Right. Jadi gue juga nggak berani bilang ke orang, you should take a sabbatical because no, not everyone can afford a sabbatical. Like, I wish they can, gitu kan. But hopefully one day companies atau siapapun juga bisa menciptakan ruang-ruang seperti ini kan. Kayak misalnya cuti 2 minggu per tahun. Not enough, man.
Enggak sih, gila itu dikit banget.
Dan di perusahaan-perusahaan pun juga nggak ada yang ngajarin atau encourage employees to stop, right? Okay guys, setiap 3 minggu kita akan ada 3 hari kita just pause. Nobody can work, right? In these 3 days you work on yourself, realign, ask these questions. So going back to that form and function, right? I really like that thinking. So for me, terlepas formnya apa, but I hope everyone start asking this question, which is, how can I live a highly optimal life, right? Like, who am I at my core yang jejak banget? Sabbatical hanya salah satu cara untuk gue mengkokohkan diri gue lagi, tapi mengkokohkan diri kan nggak hanya lewat sabbatical.